Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, the President and General Counsel of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country in the courtrooms of America. Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
An Indiana city shows moxie standing up to anti-theist bullies on Christmas. Happy New Year. I'm Matt Barber, Director of Cultural Affairs with Liberty Counsel and Associate Dean with Liberty University School of Law, in for Matt Staver all week. And joining me in studio is Sean Akers, Dean of Liberty's Helm School of Government and Policy Analyst with Liberty Counsel. Well, Sean, Brookville, Indiana, a city that has long had a fairly elaborate nativity scene on public property in the city, was threatened essentially, and told that they needed to remove that nativity scene. Liberty Counsel sent a letter offering to represent Brookville, the town, and Franklin County, Indiana, against a challenge to their display of the nativity scene outside the county courthouse. The city did not back down. The display remained in place and ostensibly will be in place from now on out. The display has been located there for more than 40 years. And the Freedom from Religion Foundation, that pack of Scrooges, Grinches, if you will, had sent a letter claiming that it was unlawful for the government to have such religious displays on public property. This is a meme, Sean, that we have heard from groups like the ACLU, like People for the American Way, certainly the Freedom from Religion Foundation. They just absolutely are bent on removing any reference, not to religion, but specifically to Christianity, the one true religion, to remove any reference to Christianity from any public forum, and they are willing to lie, cheat, and steal in order to get it done.
Matt, the good news is that as we go into a new year, we had quite a bit of success in this in the last year. And while every year it seems like we're going to get to put this punctuation on it, because every year the bullies come out of the woodwork to try to wipe Christianity off of the public face of the United States at very least. But yet again, they're beginning to figure out that this Liberty Counsel thing and its supporters have a real effect. And when we get a letter, we're not sure we want to tangle with that particular case. Why don't we go pick one that Liberty Counsel's not involved with? Because so far, we have had, as you pointed out, many times under the leadership of Matt Staver, multiple victories. A 90% Matt? A 92%
92% victory ratio against the ACLU.
Against the ACLU. These other little groups, Citizens United for the separation of church and state, and
they're
whoever,
like gnats.
Yeah, they have to look up at what the big dog ACLU does, and when the big dog is running from us, then they don't want to go there either. So you wind up having things like this, where the victories, thank you to our listeners, the victories begin to come easier. We didn't have to file suit here. We had to send a letter saying, we'll be happy. We got your back. We'll be happy to stand up for the rights you've had since 1776. They're still alive and well, and we'll still fight for you.
And that empowered Brookville, Indiana, to know that they could do the right thing, the constitutional thing, without fear of retribution, without fear of retaliation. Now, we need to give credit where credit's due here. First of all, the reason that Liberty Counsel is able to do what we're able to do and have a 92% win record against the anti-Christian, pro-communist American Civil Liberties Union, and that's not hyperbole. Roger Baldwin, founder of the ACLU, said, quote, "Communism is the goal." The reason we're able to have such an overwhelming victory record is through people like you listening right now, through supporters of Liberty Counsel. And right now, I want to encourage you to go to lc.org, our website, or call us at 1-800-671-1776 to learn how you can become part of our ministry and our mission to push back against the secular, humanist, socialist left, and we're doing so with your help and assistance. Also, we need to give credit to our crackerjack attorneys, a team of attorneys, really some of the top constitutional scholars and litigators in the country, people like certainly Matt Staver, Steve Crampton, who is Vice President here and General Counsel, Liberty Counsel, David Corey, who was involved in the case we're talking about right now. These guys, the ACLU, People for the American Way, Americans United for Separation of Church and State, see their name at the bottom of a demand letter, at the bottom of a brief, and they say, well, maybe it's time to throw in the towel. So again, we need to give credit where credit's due. While we're talking about the ACLU and People for the American Way and Americans United, I hope they're listening right now too, because as we're educating the general listening public at large, I'd like to educate them a little bit. Sean, the United States Supreme Court has upheld the constitutionality of publicly sponsored nativity scenes and displays in Lynch v. Donnelly. These groups know this, yet they frivolously every year in, year out, send demand letters where they essentially, what other word is there, they lie and try to bully these townships and villages and cities into submission. And Liberty Counsel has not and will not let them get away with it.
Matt, that is an extremely intentional act on their part. We've talked about this a lot, about these views of the Constitution. And along with that, hand in hand, is the view of the court's role. While those of us who think that the Constitution was written and said exactly what it was intended to say and take an originalist approach to it, a strict construction approach, say that the court exists to help us, guide us through what the Constitution actually said. So we're deciphering. We're saying that there is a question of constitutionality. These groups do not approach it that way at all. They could care less what the Constitution says. They're trying to tell you what they want it to say. They know good and well. History itself should clear this up, that the founders had no problem with Christianity. They were Christians. That nativity scenes, come on, the celebration of Christmas, this is something that is...
Incidentally, which happens to be a federal holiday. I mean, is there any question? It's a federal holiday, yet we cannot celebrate Christmas. The cognitive dissonance, is profound.
But this is that you have to understand this if you want to understand the actions of these groups that keep coming back and coming back and coming back, filing these same suits over and over again. It's not because they want to clarify, Matt, what the Constitution says. It's because they want to rewrite what the Constitution says. So while our listeners and supporters of Liberty Counsel had such an incredible effect last year, we have to remain vigilant this year because they're not going to stop. They're going to keep coming. They're going to keep testing the fences to see if there's some little loop that they can get through. We have to show a strong and united front to protect religious liberties at every turn in this new year, and I pray and know that we're going to be granted great success in it the way we have in the past.
Well, Sean, the Constitution, the United States Constitution, was created, the historical record is unequivocal, created within the framework and the context of a Judeo-Christian worldview, and created in such a way that it could operate and function in harmony with that worldview and that worldview alone. The worldview that says we are granted by our Creator, by the one sovereign God of the universe, yes, the very God that our Christian founding fathers knelt before and worshipped, that we are granted certain unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Again, the secular socialist left views the Constitution, Sean, as an encumbrance, as something that must be gotten around. The Constitution cannot operate in harmony with a secular socialist worldview. They recognize that, so the Constitution essentially must be done away with. That's why we see these just disingenuous attacks against our constitutional rights to freedom of religious expression, in this particular case, in the form of a city setting up, as has been done for the past 40 years, a nativity scene.
That's exactly right, Matt. But yet again, we're going to ask our listeners to join in with us to make sure that we continue to bring exactly this kind of truth to bear, that we show up in society and in the courts and protect rights everywhere that they're being challenged.
Well, folks, we can't do it without you. To learn how you can become part of the Liberty Counsel team, go to lc.org or give us a call at 1-800-671-1776. Help us to stand against the secular socialist left in defense of the Constitution, in defense of the Bible, in defense of our first liberties, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of association. Go to lc.org.
You have been listening to Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel. Our hope is to encourage and inspire you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email update. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.